Hello everyone, it's Alex of Coyote Star Astrology. Welcome back to my channel. This is my new moon in Capricorn video for the new moon in Capricorn on January 12th, 2021 Pacific Standard Time. However, please do adjust for your current location on planet Earth as that time and date may change. Here on Pacific Standard Time, the new moon will happen around 8:30 p.m. Tuesday. And dear God, look at this chart. I've circled the new moon up on the chart, and you can see that the new moon is at the beginning of this very interesting little train of energies. So we are going to break this down, as well as talk a little bit more about how the energies of 2021 relate to us on a personal level. Last video, we talked a lot about the more collective, sort of overarching theme of 2021. And we are going to talk a little bit about that this time as well. But I also really want to touch in on how this affects us more personally. First things first, simply from an elemental perspective, we notice that we have a huge fire deficiency in this chart. We've got a lot of Earth. We've got a lot of Capricorn right now. We've got a lot of Earth because we also have a bunch of Taurus. We've got a lot of Aquarius, so we've got some air and a teeny tiny bit of water over there with Neptune, but honestly, we don't have any fire, and we won't until March when the sun moves into Aries. So this density is something, and in some ways, guys, honestly, darkness, because, you know, fire is our light. This density, this heaviness is just something that we've got to get real comfortable with for a little while here. And man, I've got a Libra moon. I'm a natural peacemaker. I see things from both sides. And one thing that I'm confronting in myself is that on my socials and on my channel, I'm really kind of always trying to present the information in a way that's going to make everyone feel at ease. And I had actually somebody kind of attack me in the comments a few months ago. Someone was getting mad at me for just not coming out and saying what my actual political views are. And it was really rude and kind of weird, but I'm actually super grateful that that person said that, because it brought to my attention that there has been a part of myself that is holding back here on this channel. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to start sharing my political views on this channel, because this is an astrology channel and that is my focus here. And I'm going to keep it that way. But in the way that I present the information, I do, one of my intentions for 2021 is to share myself even more authentically. And, you know, if that means that some of you, it's not in resonance anymore, totally get it. And I totally support you in your decision to find other channels that are more in resonance. You know, we really do have to exercise our free will and choose in this information age, with all of this air element that we're coming into, this information age, we really have to exercise our free agency and decide what media and what content is right for us. So if this is no longer right for you, that's totally fine. And I also look forward to it drawing into my field those that it is more in resonance for on an even deeper, more authentic level, so that we can start to form tribe and community here on the galactic web. And that really does come in line with something that I really wanted to share today, and that we will be talking a lot about in 2021, is that the opposite of Aquarius is Leo. And Leo is our authentic expression of our creativity. It's like the light that lights up the eyes of a child with that playful innocence of, this is me and I love myself and I'm here to play and I'm here to dance and I'm here to sing and express. And I hope that you can love me for it. And Aquarius is our community. It's the opposite. It's the polarity to Leo. So this axis is so interesting that the more we express ourselves authentically, the more that we draw in the community that we're really looking to find. And that's my hope through this channel. So yeah, coming back to the lack of fire. The lack of fire is a reality. I read the stars. I leave my opinion at the door, and I do my best to interpret the chart from the purest place possible. And I know that we react to words differently. That's something else that I'm learning. That sometimes when I use the word intensity, some individuals react to that word really, really strongly. You know, that some of us have experienced trauma. Some people are more sensitive, and others get really activated by words like that, and they get inspired and they get excited. So I want to make it clear that when I use words like intensity or density, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying that we're going to have a horrible few months here, but it is intense. There's a lot coming up, and that is, I feel safe in saying, kind of a reality, right? We're at the threshold of the falling of an empire. And that isn't generally a super smooth process, right? There's intensity involved with that. And we're all moving through that together. So there is a lack of fire. There is a density in the field right now. And I hope that by letting you know that, if you're one of the people that's feeling that, you can relax a little bit and know that that density is going to lift as we move through these energies. But for now, we kind of got to like pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, roll up our sleeves, and really get comfortable with this energy, because we've got some things to move through. This is a new moon, and it's a new moon in Capricorn. So I've circled the new moon, and a new moon is a new impulse. It's a new direction, a new start. It's the beginning. The moon is going on a new journey. It's cleared the slate. It's ready for a new intention. And one thing about having a predominance of earth and air in the chart is the air allows us to really think about the direction that we want to go in. And the earth allows us to focus. It allows us to plan, and it allows us to work towards our goals. So although the absence of fire makes, because fire is excitement and positivity, lack of fire isn't really associated with a very high morale. So there is kind of a little bit of a gloomy element, but the heavy earth presence is associated with lots of focus and productivity. So this is a new moon where we can really set some intentions towards the things that we're working towards and start to formulate the structural container for our passions to exist in and ignite within, right? So all of our passions and our ideals, they need a container. They need a structure. There's groundwork to be laid. And this is the type of new moon where we do that. The first thing that we notice about the new moon in the chart is that it's right next to Pluto, the lord of the underworld. So here's this reality of intensity again. There is a presence of darkness in this chart. If this was a color palette, I would tell you that the colors are ranging from like deep, deep midnight blues into some dark browns, blacks, and maybe some really dark emerald greens. I mean, this is kind of, this area of the chart anyway is pretty dense, right? And Pluto deals with power. So this new moon, of course, I know many of us are tuned in to the more political side of things right now. You may not be, and that's fine, but a lot of us are, and we can expect some new intentions. And because of the Plutonian aspect, there might be kind of a power behind this, and potentially sort of a dark power. Saturn is not far away, so that again brings in the theme around government, authority, etc. Jupiter is not far away either, so there's a larger than life component to politics and governments being a theme right now, and I think many of us can agree with that. Mercury is there as well. Mercury, the messenger. So big headlines, big moves, new intentions, a new cycle is beginning. A new moon is yang energy. So a singularity moving outward like a blooming flower or an explosion. So something new is beginning here, this new moon. On a personal level, the presence of Pluto suggests that new intentions set within this new moon portal can have a very, very powerful and alchemical influence on any kind of intention we're putting forth involving transformation, right? Pluto is the archetype of death and rebirth. So if there is something that you've been wanting to let go, this is a great new moon to do it. And this new moon has just this kind of core power to it. So if you're gonna honor this new moon cycle by having some kind of ritual or ceremony, or setting some kind of intention, you can really reach down into that almost like root chakra core power center, the root and sacral center of this chakra system, and really push forward with intentions from there. So let's talk about the square to Uranus. So this area of the chart that I have circled, as many of you may know by now, this area represents the old system that is being dismantled. This is the Capricorn area of the chart that has been illuminated and brought to the forefront of our attention since the beginning of 2020, when Saturn and Pluto first made their conjunction in Capricorn. They are now in active conversation with the planet Uranus. Saturn and Uranus are in a square throughout all of 2021. As we discussed in the last video, this is the battle between the old system, the old way, the old government, the old traditional way of looking at things, and the new experimental Uranian version of things. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So this is the battle between Capricorn and Aquarius in many ways. And Aquarius follows Capricorn. Aquarius evolves from Capricorn. And that right there tells you a lot about this battle taking place. Aquarius has wisdom that Capricorn does not have. Capricorn is about the traditional, long-held structures and systems that keep order in the third dimension. So this is where we get our laws and our police and politics and all these things that make the system work, right? Make it functional. Aquarius evolves from that place. So Aquarius is the breaking away from existing structures and realizing as time goes on and we evolve as a human race that the way we've been doing things for a long time may need to change. It may need to evolve. Aquarius is about technology, so this is about incoming new information that brings us to the realization that the way we've been looking at things and the way that we've been, conducting ourselves for generations and generations is potentially outdated. However, because it is new and because it does threaten the existing narrative, there's a certain level of uncomfortability that comes with Aquarius, right? Aquarius is the mad hatter, mad genius, rebel heretic, the one that everyone thinks is crazy because they're suggesting a viewpoint that had been largely unaccepted. So Aquarius seems a little crazy. It seems unfounded. And technology and science and all these things that we attribute with Aquarius is how we attempt to prove or legitimatize these new ways of looking at things. But all this to say, the two are really not friends. They irritate one another because to Aquarius, Capricorn is way too traditional, kind of a wet blanket and really just stuck in an old paradigm. And to Capricorn, Aquarius is outlandish, offensive, disorganized. I mean, Aquarius is sort of like anarchy, right? It's rebellion and revolution. It's casting off the old authority. So these two are at war for all of the year. Now, I told you I was going to show you how this relates to us on a personal level. All of us have Aquarius and Saturn in square in our charts. So this means that for each one of us, there is a new, upgraded, progressive, experimental, quantum, Aquarian version of ourselves that really wants to come through this year, that really wants to arrive. But we are coming against the limitations of an old version of ourselves, whether that be old stories, an old paradigm, a relationship that we've outgrown, a town that we've outgrown, a job. And at the moment, it's frustrating because Saturn, the old way, is squaring Mars, which, as you can see, has come to join Uranus. So this is where I'm getting really excited. So, okay, so one other thing. Uranus has not even gone direct yet. Uranus is still retrograde. You can see that it's red over there. So Uranus hasn't even joined the frickin' party yet, honestly. The revolution hasn't even really started yet. On January 14th, Uranus will go direct, and when it goes direct, it will have Mars by its side. Mars fuels and accelerates. Now, little sidebar, Mars does rule the military, so there may be, I mean, I have no way of knowing for sure, but just making note of that Mars does rule the military. So January 14th, the military could come into play in some way. But one thing I can say for sure, that will sound the beginning of the battle between these two gods of the sky, Uranus and Saturn. On a personal level, that will sound the call for this new addition that you're wanting to bring into your reality. That will sound the call for it to start moving forward. You can start getting some traction. So if you're feeling kind of backed into a corner at the moment, January 14th, you'll start to sort of feel that Team Uranus energy of like, okay, no, I've got this. I can start to make strides. You might feel suddenly inspired. Check where Uranus is in your chart because you'll be receiving this boost of energy, this explosion. And then it's sort of going to be off with the races. January 19th and 20th are potentially the most intense days of 2021. Big couple of days. And I want to talk about the nodes briefly in regards to whatever happens on the 19th and the 20th. Something's definitely going to happen. Whatever happens, embrace that North Node in Gemini. I cannot stress this enough. I wish that I could broadcast this across the planet right now, honestly. Embrace another point of view. Embrace saying, I don't know. Can you tell me more about that? Embrace researching the other side. Embrace looking at things from a different angle and knowing that you don't have all the pieces because Neptune is squaring the nodes right now. And at this very moment, we are seeing such a destructive shadow aspect of the South Node in Sagittarius, which is dogma. I know the truth. And if you don't believe in this truth, you're wrong. We're even seeing the big tech companies right now silencing the alternative point of view. That is the shadow of the South Node in Sagittarius. And I can't stress this enough. If you are acting out the South Node in Sagittarius, if you are blocking the viewpoint of others, if you are allowing relationships in your life to fall apart because you can't see eye to eye with someone who might challenge your existing beliefs, it's gonna be a rude awakening. And that's not my personal opinion. That's what the chart says, because the North Node is the destiny point. We are collectively destined to awaken to the fact that we have not been told the truth. With the square to Neptune right now, no one knows the truth. It's impossible to see things clearly right now. And when the nodes switch to Scorpio and Taurus in 2022, and someone can quote me on this, when the nodes switch to Scorpio and Taurus in 2022, that is when the secrets are going to really start to be revealed. We're not even there yet. I'm talking like the skeletons are going to get dragged out of the closet, and we're going to have to collectively digest a lot of secrets that have been kept from view. So in the meantime, embracing the North Node of Gemini, embracing the wisdom of Gemini, which is welcoming different points of view, welcoming diversity and variety of opinion, is the best thing that we can possibly embrace. So, rest of this month, by the next time I talk to you during the full moon here, unless I've been thinking of doing a live here on YouTube soon. The next time I talk to you, we're gonna be a lot will have happened. So yeah, the 14th, the 19th, the 20th. Don't let the density get you down. Grab your popcorn, get comfortable. We've got a bit of turbulence up ahead. Set some powerful intentions this new moon. Use that core power to really tap in to your life source and to your life force, so that you can pull these higher dimensional quantum manifestations, Uranus, down into the 3D Capricorn. And if you've felt stuck and frustrated with this square, the 14th is really going to help push that forward, and we'll start to get moving. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to reach out to me for a reading, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm putting my website up there on the screen, coyotestarastrology.com. I also want to link you to my Instagram, Earth2Coyote. I do a lot of Instagram astrology stories. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and a share. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.